you wouldn't add any of these to your singing along musical playlist?
I would add what's this?
What's this?
What's this?
What's that? There's snow everywhere.
Nailed it.
Welcome to the 5th episode of Can't Believe You Haven't Seen, the podcast where we introduce each other to something new, whether it be a film, TV show, or something else. With Daniel.
And Daniel.
So this week, I can't believe you haven't seen The Nightmare Before Christmas. So, it's spooky month, which is why we are doing a spooky film.
Yes.
So...
well, as spooky as a film can be with the word Christmas in the title.
So I guess that's a good point to start. Would you classify this as a Halloween or a Christmas film?
Well, before watching it, having never seen it before, I would have said it was a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Because it has the word Christmas in the title, and only Christmas films have Christmas in the title. But after watching it, I watched it with my partner.
Oh yes.
So, and she said that it's an in-between film. So it's a November film. So I'm happy for that concession, I think.
You're happy to say it's an in-between film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I agree. But if I had to pick one, I would say more Halloween. Doesn't feel too Christmassy.
No.
Apart from the one scene where he goes to Christmas Town, that's nice and Christmassy. So, it's a stop-motion film from 1993. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on the year it came out?
Yeah. No, the stop motion. 24 frames per second.
Oh.
An hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Stop motion is an art form near and dear to my heart. You know, I always want to, root for a stop motion film. I always feel like they're like the underdogs of animation. So, right out the gate, I enjoyed the fact that it was stop motion.
I can kind of tell that you didn't like this film too much.
What? No. No, I fucking hated it.
Wow, that's a surprise, to be sure.
A surprise? Did you think I would like it?
Well, to be honest, no.
Do you like it?
I think it's yeah. No, I like parts of it. It's a mixed bag, right? I do like a lot of it, but I also don't like a lot of it.
Right.
And so I guess that's what we would discuss in this here podcast.
Oh.
That we're filming.
Let's do that then.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you loved about it?
That I loved.
Or even slightly enjoyed?
Let me have a look. There's one good song.
Okay.
Which is What's This? I assume it's called What's This? It's the one where it goes, What's this? That one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, everybody knows which one I'm talking about. I just didn't know whether or not that was the title. I like that song. That's the one good song. And Oogie Boogie was pretty cool.
He reminded me of, have you ever seen Seven?
Yeah.
Yeah, he reminded me of...
Can't wait for this connection. What?
The design of the character.
Yeah.
Looked like the little Seven people.
Seven?
I think I'm thinking of the right film.
Are you thinking of 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, not 7.
What's 7?
The one with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman about the serial killer and the 7 deadly sins.
No, I'm thinking of 9.
Yeah, I've always wanted to watch that film.
I haven't.
It reminded you of a film that you've never seen before.
Yeah, I've seen the posters.
Yeah.
And trailers.
Okay.
So
those were the only 2 things I enjoyed about it.
Really?
I couldn't stand this, honestly. What a drag.
Okay, well...
And it was only an hour and 18 minutes long. Before that, I watched this on Disney Plus, and I saw it said an hour and 18 minutes, and I was like... lovely. It'll be a nice breezy watch. It's the longest hour and 20 minutes of my life.
Yeah, it did kind of drag a bit, but I don't think it's that bad.
I have to admit that I am biased against it, like sort of from, and it's not the film's fault. It's just I don't get on with Tim Burton very much.
Really? Why not?
I just have never. His things have never. I like one Tim Burton film, which I will not reveal because it could be for a later episode of this podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't get on with any of his films, really. I don't like his quirkiness, I find it just quite tiresome. And I don't like his art style, really, either, which, of course, is all over this film.
That's a shame, because I was going to say how much I did like the quirkiness, as you called it. I like the little details they add into the film. You didn't even like how it looked? Because I thought you would at least appreciate character design.
No, I did not like, and
Really?
like a lot of because they're all so ugly, and I know that's the point.
It's Halloween Town.
Because it's Halloween Town, but it's still, I don't find it wasn't pleasing to look at. I didn't think, oh, that's a fun, I was just like, God, he's gross. Hate how he looks. I like how Jack looked, but
It's like Thunderman.
yeah, but, I mean, he was just a skeleton, so, there's not a lot you can go wrong with there. He was alright, but yeah, everybody else looked just, I didn't like how it looked at all. Even Santa looked weird. Like, I had to pause the film at one point, and it paused on Santa. It was this close-up of Santa, and it was terrifying.
Were you at least, like, creeped out a bit by some of the stuff?
No, not really.
I thought the stop motion part of it, along with the character design, it felt pretty creepy to me.
I could appreciate that it might be a bit scary for children.
I'm not saying it scared me. I'm saying that
No, I'm not trying to insult you. I just mean like
it's kind of creepy because it doesn't look right because it's stop motion. It looks uncanny would be the word. I
don't think the stop motion added anything for me. Because it was a little bit janky, which I'm not blaming the film for, because technology's come a long way since 1993.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the most flawless stop motion I've ever seen, but that didn't add anything for me. It didn't make it feel any like creepy or anything for me, if that's what sort of you mean. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought some of the stop motion looked pretty janky, and other parts of it actually looked like really smooth. So I'm wondering if that was a conscious decision, maybe to make it look creepier or weirder. Some parts were less frames to because I felt like it was pretty effective if that was the intent.
Well, art is about what you get out of it.
So you really don't like this film. So you didn't even like This Is Halloween, which is the opening song?
No, but I used to work at the cinema.
Yes.
That song would get played an awful lot on the playlist that we had looping. So I'm already inclined to not enjoy that song because it reminds me of work. But yeah, even here I was like, I found a lot of the songs really just annoying, and I think that's not necessarily the fault of the songs. It was a lot of the time who was singing them as well.
Yeah.
Because there are all these weird crack characters with like these really annoying voices, and it was that one especially with the three little trick or treat kids.
Yeah.
Where they're planning on kidnapping Santa. Their little song was so annoying, and yeah, I felt like that about a lot of the films. Like most of the songs that Jack sang, I mean, again, I didn't really like because they just weren't very memorable, but they weren't annoying. Yeah. At least
there's definitely not that many memorable songs.
No.
The only two that I could pick out were the first two, and now the Sandy Claus one. I can't remember that one. I thought that one was kind of alright.
No.
Sally. Very interesting choice for the name there. Why?
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Seems a bit ordinary, I thought. You got Jack the Pumpkin King.
Oh no, but his name's Jack.
The Pumpkin King.
Yeah, but that's a title.
Well,
no, but she could have a last name like Sally Spookington.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so here's a question for you.
Go on.
Which, entertain it if you want, but you probably won't. Which of the doors would you go in if you found this,
God, well, I'd have to have a think, because I assume there was a door for every holiday. I was surprised to see one for St. Patrick's Day. I wonder what that's like.
Big holidays.
Yeah.
So, St. Patrick's, Easter, Halloween,
Christmas. Not to be boring, but I'd probably just choose Christmas, because every time we went to Christmas Land, it was like, or Christmas Town, it was like a relief. Because I really hated Halloween Town. So every time we went to Christmas Town, I was just like, oh, it's so nice here. I just want to stay here.
Maybe that's the intention, though.
Well, it shouldn't be the intention. Most of the film is set in Halloween Town.
Yeah, but
you want to make me annoyed at most of your film, just like I wish I wasn't here.
The film's about trying to replicate that feeling in Halloween Town.
Well,
so personally, I would go for probably Easter, because I'm a big Christmas guy. But the Easter Bunny was pretty funny, in my humble opinion. When they kidnapped it, it was kind of cute, made me laugh. That's fine. I mean, do you have any notes about the first half? First,
got a few. I thought it was there's that bit where Sally at the start, she like has to pull a thread out of her arm and like her arm falls off.
Yeah.
There's a few things like that in it where it's like, this is kind of
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I always, because it's for, it's for children.
Mm.
And I think, God, that's a bit much for a kid.
I guess it is, but I mean, it's not that bad, is it?
No, it was just surprising. And there's that bit where she fucking throws herself out of that tower. And I thought she was dead.
She kills herself.
She kills herself. And yeah, like that was.
That means she's immortal, though. If she can just do that whenever
I guess,
she
yeah.
dies. Actually, just the concept of death in this, I felt, was quite inconsistent.
Go on then.
I'm pretty sure Jack. It doesn't matter really. So Jack says he's dead at some point.
Yes.
And then Jack dies whilst being dead.
Does he?
Or they think he's died whilst being dead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how is that possible? How would he die when being dead? And why is his little dog that died
a ghost
when nobody else is? Everyone there, I assume, is dead.
Ooh, yeah.
No ghosts.
Well, I wish I had an answer for you. You'll have to ask Tim. I think that might just be one of those things that you don't think about.
I thought about
it. I did think, because I don't know what, obviously it was stop motion, but I don't know if it was like claymation or like what the characters and stuff were made out of. But I did think, God, it must be difficult to animate a character as skinny as some of these, like how stick thin like Jack is.
Yeah.
It must take a lot of effort to just not have him like fall over every second.
Well, and from that sense, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I will always admire stop motion as an art form, but it won't colour my opinion too much.
I feel like you said that it didn't add anything to the film. I'm going to respectfully disagree.
Go on, okay, yeah. Fight me.
All right, I will. I mean, it's a point that I've already made, but I just feel like it did personally make everything feel more spooky. I don't know why. If it was smooth animation, it would have just been like, I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know why.
Personally, for me, if this had just been a standard like 2D animated cartoon film, nothing would have changed. I probably would have preferred it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like if it was just a normal animation, I wouldn't actually have liked anything about it. Because most of what I like about it is from the character design and the world design and stuff. So I feel like animation takes away from a lot of that.
So you don't like
the
this
minor
film?
details. No, I like it's a mixed bag. Like I said, bits and pieces I like, bits and pieces I don't like.
Fair enough.
The story itself, I think that's an interesting concept that they should do the same, but with Christmas trying to replicate Halloween. How would that be?
Hopefully better than this film. Here's something that perhaps you can shed some light on for me, because I won't lie, as the film went on I was starting to tune out a bit, so I could have missed a few things.
Yeah.
But when he's in Halloween Town,
yes,
goes through the tree,
yes,
into Christmas Town. Christmas Town is all lovely, you've got Santa, you've got elves, it looks great. It looks like Halloween like not a real place.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch my drift, because everything about it is Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
So when Jack goes in his sleigh and starts being Santa, where does he go? Because I said to my partner, that's weird that Christmas Town has police. Yeah. And then she said, well, it's the real world. And I was like, I thought he was in Christmas Town.
No.
So did I miss something? Or
I don't know like the specific point, but I know that's not Christmas Town and it's not Halloween Town. The way it's not like fully explained how that universe works, but it's like I feel like there would just be another door to like the real world.
Right.
So you got Christmas Town, the Halloween one, and then you would have, and here's real life, But
did he enter the real world?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. That's why they're all human.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
So it's like Halloween Town is like the afterlife, Because they're all dead there. And then wait, actually, so Halloween Town, what do they do when Halloween comes around?
They just have a little party, it looked like. That was like the start of the film. And it was like, great Halloween, everyone. and then that was it.
But so Christmas Town, they have Sandy Claus leaves and goes to the real world. they're prepping for that all year round.
Yeah.
What's Halloween Town prepping for?
I don't know. This was a thought I had. I think I made a note about it. Yeah, I just wrote, what do they do in this place? Like, what is what do they do all year round? Like, what is anybody's function? Everybody loves Jack, but I don't know why they love Jack so much. Like, what's his role? Because they have a mayor.
Well, he's like the Father Christmas character.
I guess he's, yeah. But yeah, I thought about it. I was just like, what do they do all year? Like, nobody seems to really have any kind of responsibilities about anything other than Jack, who needs to prep for next year's Halloween song number.
Are we perhaps looking too deep into it?
I would say absolutely.
At this point. Yeah.
But it's still, if the film had kept my attention enough, I wouldn't have been thinking about this stuff.
But are we maybe the wrong audience, as you said?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, it's a bit of a, if you like it, you like it, you know, because I think it's a bit of a cult hit. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure how well it did financially or anything like that. But, you know, I know plenty of people that like it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got that kind of, you know, aesthetic where it would appeal to a certain demographic, you know. So you can see it kind of having that cult status.
Yeah.
Which just isn't for me.
Fair enough. Again, it's like last week's episode, Spirited Away.
Couple weeks ago now, actually.
Yeah, of course. Week 3.
Yeah.
I like this film, like, mostly based on the aesthetic, the world it builds. Again, I'd really like to go and live in Christmas Town, or even just the little houses they had in real world. I thought that was nice little town. Couple funny things that I picked out.
Yeah.
Specifically when Jack was doing his experiments.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find this humorous. Did you look at the blackboard?
I did. Can't remember anything that was on it. I think no.
Okay. Well, okay. So obviously you had Sandy, and then a picture of some crab claws, and then the what I found pretty funny was like a mathematical equation. Right? It said chestnuts divided.
Chestnuts divided.
Chestnuts divided by an open fire. So the chestnuts were above, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The open fire over chestnuts over an open.
That's
fire.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I missed that. I did like that little montage.
Yeah.
Like the bit where he's trying to make that snowflake out of paper and then he unravels it and it's a spider. That was, you know, that was a nice little bit.
Yeah. Just the little details. I think that it shows that a lot of love has gone into creating this. I think.
Which I don't doubt, but the film as a whole just wasn't like it. They only had to fill an hour and 15 minutes, and the plot was so like paper thin. It was like it was ridiculous. Like I can't think of anything that like really happened, other than obviously the grand scheme of they want it to be Christmas, but they're Halloween people. Like that's it. That's the whole film.
Well, yeah, that's the plot of the film.
But it just
of any film.
There just nobody had any kind of depth or anything, and like it just wasn't engaging at all for me.
Yeah.
And then you got that, and then on top of that you've got all these really just not very good songs. That
a lot of them were.
I love a musical. I love a good musical.
Yeah.
Right. And this was Phantom, Les Mis, The Greatest Showman.
Sure. All
great musicals. I'll sing along to them in my car every day if I could. But yeah, this just didn't do that. Didn't.
So you wouldn't add any of these to your singing along musical playlist?
I would add what's this?
What's this?
What's this?
What's that? There's snow everywhere.
Nailed it.
I put here the boogeyman dies in a sweet way, but I can't actually remember what that way was.
Jack or someone pulls a thread out of him and then his sack falls off and he's just a load of bugs.
I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was stop motion. I guess it was. Like all the individual bugs, I don't know what they did there.
Me neither.
Because they were sort of floating. Not floating, they were like, you know.
Yeah.
Not touching each other.
don't know.
I just thought that looked really cool.
You know, I do like everything with Oogie Boogie, especially his song. I mean, I don't remember the song specifically, but everything around that, like the visuals when it went all colourful, it had that. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, that, you know, those lights where it makes things look the colour that they aren't. I can't remember what that light is called, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
coloured spotlight.
Yeah, I wish I knew what it was, but I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, something like that. That was a nice change of pace in regards to the visuals, because everything in Halloween Town is just so drab.
It really is.
That, you know,
especially once that he goes to Christmas Town for the first time.
Yeah,
it's also bright, and then you come back to Halloween Town, and it's just kind of.
I was hoping the majority of the film took place in Christmas Town. I thought that's where it was. I thought he was going to be in Christmas Town for like most of it.
Yeah.
And he was just going to be exploring and like trying not to get caught, and
it's literally like one song in there and done.
Yeah, and then he comes back like the next scene later and was like, oh, he's back.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, we need to replicate Christmas, and I was just like, why aren't you just going back? Why aren't you just saying, everybody, come on, let's go to Christmas Town? But instead they were like, we need to work out how to make snow. And it's like, just go there. But
they wanted their own version, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's a question.
Okay.
Well, his little dog, Zero.
Yes. Dead dog.
Pretty sad.
With the little pumpkin nose.
Was it a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because that was because he popped out of the ground, and I was like, why has he got a red red nose.
That's like Rudolph, but dog with a pumpkin.
Well, I know, but then I thought, is it gonna is the only reason he's got a red nose is so he can be the front of the sleigh?
Yeah.
And then he was, and I was like, well, that's pretty lazy.
Oh,
but I guess
thought it was a cool little detail.
I mean, I didn't notice it was a pumpkin though, to be fair. So
yeah.
I thought it was just a red nose.
No, that would be dumb.
Yeah.
Did
you notice, or did you know that his Jack's singing voice and his speaking voice are two different people?
No.
Well, he has his speaking voice is an actor.
An actor.
An actor who I can't remember the name of, but his singing voice is Danny Elfman.
Who?
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
Who composed the music.
Really?
And his big music composer in the film industry. He's done lots of scores.
I somehow didn't notice that. I feel like they sound pretty similar.
They do, to be fair. I don't think I would have known if I hadn't already known.
Well,
just an interesting detail.
Is that the same with any other characters, or do you not know?
I'm not sure. I think all the other characters are just who they are.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Here's a thing that also reminded me of when we talked about Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
We complained a bit about the love story in that.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem real, or like it wasn't very earned.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that even more so with this film, where Jack is only interested in himself for like the entire film. He's just like, oh, I'm so bored. Like, you know. And then you just got Sally in the distance just kind of looking at him being like, I guess she has the hots for him.
Well, yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. And, well, yeah, but like, she's just in the background for most of the film. And then it's at the end of the film, and he's like, oh, you tried to save me. And she's like, yeah. It's like, well, I guess I love you then. And it's like, come on. Like,
yeah. They literally speak like 3 times.
Yeah, like they hardly share any scenes together at all. I just felt like that for, I can't remember at what point, I think just before he goes to try and rescue Sally and whoever else, Santa, I don't know, whoever else is there, he's like, I need to go and save my friends. And I was like, your friends? Like, you've never spoken to them.
Maybe they spoke before the movie. Or after.
Don't give me that. Like, come on.
You never know.
You can see my just my deteriorating mood throughout my notes. Just like it's just a note where it's like, these songs suck. This is horrible. And then my last note is just, that sucked. I genuinely hated that.
Well, I'm gonna look up the IMDb page because I don't really know what the general consensus on this film is. I
know people like it. There you go. That's my contribution.
It's got an 8.0 on IMDb, so it's like, perfectly average. No,
that's pretty good for IMDb.
Yeah.
This is one of those instances where I don't know. Okay, this is going to sound pretty... I can't see what people... I don't think people like this film for the film. I think people like how it looks. I think people are into the whole Tim Burton-y kind of aesthetic. Maybe people like the songs. I know people like This Is Halloween. I think people are into that, but I think I can't see why anybody would enjoy the plot, just because I was so bored. And I think people remember this film for all those things I just said, and not the film itself.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
Well, I feel like I remember, because it's been like a long time since I've seen this film, and pretty much all I remembered about it was the, way it looked and the first two songs. So I'm basically exactly what you're describing.
Exactly.
So when I was remembering, The Nightmare Before Christmas, that's got some, good songs in it. It's a nice, fun film. I was kind of remembering those specific elements about it, and I guess most of it is nostalgia, considering it came out in 1994. So,
does it say what month?
Yeah.
What?
November.
Really?
In the UK. November.
When did it come out in the US then?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Well, even so, if it's a 1993 film, that means we had to wait for it for like nearly a year. Surely.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
That's weird. Wouldn't get that these days.
Well, it's a different world. Do you want to maybe read a review? See why people like it so much?
A review on what?
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
No. Don't be smart with me. On IMDb.
On IMDb, yeah.
A user review or a critic review?
Long-ass review. What would you prefer? I've got user, I've got critic.
How about a bit of both?
Frequently asked questions. Okay.
And then you hit us with a frequently asked question and some trivia while you're at it. Okay. Give us a goof as well.
Love a good goof. Okay, so...
I wonder if people can tell we're running out of things to talk about.
We ran out 20 minutes ago. Okay, so the aspect ratio is 1.66 to 1.
I noticed there were little... I didn't know that was the aspect ratio specifically, but there were little black...
It was 1.67 to 1.
There were little black bars on either side of my screen.
Yeah, that'd be why.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so this is a very long review. I'll pick out.
Is it a good, like a positive one? Like someone that...
Yeah, this is a 10-star review from 2004. Okay, so let's pick out.
This is good.
Okay, he says, it's certainly an inspired movie, as it is very weird. And when I say weird, it's distinctly Burton. So, no,
I think I'm onto something.
Yeah. I think people liked this because it was Tim Burton, and not because of the film.
Yeah.
It's like how people like,
Go on.
the prequel so much, because they were by George Lucas,
That's not true at all.
No. I'm sure there's a... Fuck me. I'm sorry. Is this really a Disney movie? Someone asks. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Apparently.
It's just one of those things, I think, where Disney distributed it.
The movie is credited as a Touchstone movie. Touchstone is simply a label that Disney uses for their films that are considered too scary or too adult for little children. That's interesting.
Didn't know that.
Me neither. I guess it makes sense, because if you think Disney, you don't think scary Tim Burton, movie.
No, I don't.
Well, I mean, that's about it from me, I think. Is there anything from you?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, I guess all that's left to do is for you to reveal to me what film you want me to watch for the following week.
Yes, for part 2 of Spooky Week.
Yeah.
Well, by the time the next episode comes out, Daniel, it will be the 30th of... Sorry. The 30th of October, which is the day before. Well, when the next episode comes... Well, Daniel, I'm glad you asked, because when the next episode comes out, it'll be the 30th of October, which, for anyone keeping track at home, that's the day before Halloween. So what better film to celebrate that holiday than... I was going to try and think of a funny one, like to subvert your expectations. Halloween.
You still could, the power of the edit.
Yeah, no, let's leave it. Halloween, specifically Halloween 2018.
Oh dear.
because it's the sequel to the first Halloween, but it's also called Halloween. Despite it being like the 50th film in the Halloween franchise, it's only a sequel to the first one.
Have you seen the first one?
No, I haven't.
Really?
But you have.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen this one.
No.
Can't believe it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Well, all I've heard about Halloween 2018...
I don't want to know.
...that it's a dog shit film. And that's all I'll say.
Okay.
So, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, retweet the Twitter.
Do you want to say that with a bit more enthusiasm?
Follow us on YouTube. No. So, that's about it then, I guess, again, for the second time. It's that face you pull. You take away any confidence I have.
That's because you're already looking
Suck
at me
it out,
like,
mate.
oh, I'm doing not very good.
Okay, well, thank you for listening
Thank
to
you.
the 5th episode of Can't Believe You Haven't Seen, starring Daniel.
And Daniel.
Crazy that. D Squared Productions. So, if you enjoyed it, leave us a like. If you didn't, please let us know what we can improve, because we want to improve. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you enjoyed it.
Follow us on Twitter at Can't Believe YHS.
Absolutely. Follow us on Spotify if you haven't already, or input the little RSS feed in the description into your preferred podcast app of choice.
Yes.
All right. I've been Daniel.
I've been Daniel. Goodbye.
Goodbye.